everybody, Dave here working on the shop again. So what I'm going to be messing around with is my Mustang. This is a 2007 Shelby GT. Short history is this is one of the first newer Shelbys that were put out. It was right after the Hearst Shelby. It was kind of the street car version of that car, and it could also be considered maybe kind of like a GT 350 of its time. So the problem with this car is, and a lot of Mustangs, the brakes. What I don't like about this car is the brakes are so outdated that I actually feel like the brakes just aren't working. It's the old, two piston fronts with around a 12-inch rotor. And I have a couple other cars with Brembos. Pretty much most of my cars have Brembos, and you can stop on a dime. You barely have to think about it and the car stopped. And when I get into this car, I really feel like I'm struggling to stop. And I put my family in this car because my kid's favorite car is a Mustang. They love going in it. They cram in the back seat, but it makes me uncomfortable to drive just because I'm worried about the stopping ability. So what I decided to do was get together brake kits, or a brake kit, I should say. I picked up the 2013 and up Coyote style Brembos, and I have a rotor just for test fitting. I'm going to pull a wheel today and just see what I have to do to actually get them to fit. I know I'm going to need a wheel spacer, and I know fitting behind these 18-inch wheels I may have to do something tricky with the caliper, but eventually these brakes will be on the car. The only thing I might not be able to do is I might not be using those back Brembos. I mean, the front Brembos will definitely be efficient enough, but the back Brembos, I will lose the ability to have a parking brake. But what I did is I had a custom bracket machined, and it'll allow me to run a 14-inch GT500 rear rotor, so I will increase braking ability, but I'm going to end up reusing the original calipers back there. I'm just going to do something nice with them to make them look pretty like what I do with the front. I'm probably going to go with a nice bright red with white lettering. They're going to say Brembo on it, or maybe even Shelby. So what I'm going to do now is stop here. I'm going to switch over, pull a wheel, and see what I need to do to get these things on the car. Again, today I'm just test fitting. This rotor that you see is off of my friend's car. I upgraded his brakes and I held on to it just so I could see what I need to do to make this fit. So then what's going to happen is I'm going to order what I need. I actually did already order R1 Concepts rotors, front and rear, and I have to order pads. But what I want to check is the spacer thickness that I think I need. I'm going to go ahead and pull the wheel, test fit it, and see if the spacer that I decided to go with is perfect or not, and then make sure that I'm not, once I space the wheel out, going to hit the fender in a situation where I brake or hit a bump, because I definitely don't want to ruin these fenders. So we're going to pause here, and then I'm going to get that wheel off. Okay, so what I'm going to be doing now is jacking the car up, supporting it safely, and then pull the wheel so I can test fit the brakes. So let's do that next. First thing we're going to do is I'm obviously taking off this brake caliper. One thing you need to remember, especially if you're young and just starting a wrench, is you want to save your wrists. So I always have a mallet, sorry about that, to help me break loose nuts that might be a little tight. All right, so in this situation, again, it's not the install, I'm just test fitting. So I'm just gonna let the caliper hang over. So this is the smaller rotor. I'm gonna take this rotor out of the way. It's roughly I believe a 12-inch. The new rotor is much larger. Here's a comparison of the two. You can see it's a much bigger rotor just sitting next to each other. So I'm gonna slip on the newer rotor from the 50 Mustang, meaning the new 50, not the old one from the 80s. Here's the Brembo caliper that I'm going to put on. I'm again just test fitting. It's only going on to see if I can clear the rim. Now I did measure some things out a couple months ago, so I know, based on the shape of the wheel and the offset and taking a few measurements, that I'm going to have a fitment issue if I leave it the way it is. I decided to run a spacer. This is about a 3mm spacer. What I like to do with spacers is, no matter what, I always run an ET lug nut. This is ET stands for extended thread. So to give you an example, here's a regular lug nut. It's a conical shape, and this lug nut has about an extra 4mm worth of thread contact onto the stud for the wheel. Again, no matter what, it doesn't matter how thick the spacer is, I always run these, and you'll see you'll actually get more thread bite than you would even adding the spacer. It's still giving you an extra maybe 1.5 millimeters of thread grab. So I'm going to run these. Now these are, normally I run hub centric, but they're so small that you actually still have some hub left to center the wheel. Okay, so I just went and grabbed just 2 spacers to put on the bolt. I was having a little bit of a problem getting the caliper to sit in place due to the fact that the bolt was not tightened down all the way, and it was just the caliper was kind of hanging forward. So I'm going to stick this back on, and I want to tighten the bolt down all the way. The bolt ended up being too long. I always have these bolts in stock, but I always send them out a little longer, just in case somebody has a custom application. They could always cut the bolt down. And all right, so now the caliper is nice and tight, and we can test fit the wheel. Okay, so you can see now with the spacer in place that the rim is actually not hitting the caliper. And this is what I wanted to test for. I wanted to see if the caliper would clear now. I may actually go and get a slightly thicker spacer. That would, like I said, that was only 4mm. Now I might go out and get a 6mm just to be safe, because the one thing I would possibly worry about is going around a hard turn. Maybe the rim might have a little flex and it could potentially hit the caliper, but as it sits right now, we actually seem pretty good. It's clearing. So a slightly thicker spacer will work perfect. And the great thing is, you know, these are Shelby wheels. They're original to the car. The one thing I really don't want to do is modify this car too much. It's a real Shelby, and these are the rims that came on it. And even though they're a little pitted and a little, you know, a little scraped up, and over the years the paint, you know, has chipped a little bit, I really don't want to get rid of them because they look great on the car. I would much rather keep the wheels and maybe refurbish them later on in life. It might be a little expensive, but at least they, you know, I know they look good on the car, and at least they're original, and I can keep them with the car. So in closing, I just wanted to say thank you everyone who keeps coming on my videos and liking and subscribing, and you know, emailing me directly. I put my email out there so people can contact me. Some people even have my cell phone. I try and help with as much tech support as I can. But I appreciate each and every one who clicks on my videos, and please like and subscribe so you can see what I have in store for the future. And next time you see this car, I should be working on putting that brake kit in, And thank you again. Oh, and let me know what you thought of that point of view style mechanic work. I'm trying some new things. I don't know how well it's going to last, or how many different types of jobs I can do with a camera actually on me, but let me know what you think, and I'll do it whenever I can if it's something you enjoyed. Thank you again.